It's been an absolute circus at West Ham United lately, but it looks like the Lopetegui chapter is finally coming to an end, hopefully. According to TalkSport, Julian Lopetegui has been sacked as West Ham manager. While there's no official confirmation from the club yet, Jim White is known to be close buddies with David Sullivan, and we all know Sullivan loves feeding him information. So, I'm going to assume this is true. To be honest, this decision has been a long time coming. For those who haven't been watching us week in, week out, let me tell you, we've been absolutely dreadful. It's not just the fact that we've had only 6 wins in 20 league games, though that alone is unacceptable for a club like West Ham. Maybe we could stomach that if there was an identity or even glimmers of what we were trying to achieve, but there's been none of that. It's been directionless, clueless football from start to finish. Let's be real, no one really wanted Lopetegui in the first place. I certainly didn't. To be honest, I'd have rather stuck with Moyes, and as bad as I thought Lopetegui might be, he somehow managed to be even worse. I literally have no idea what he was trying to do. What was the philosophy? What was the plan? We looked completely clueless every time we stepped onto the pitch. His decision-making drove me mad. Far too often, he'd put out a lineup that all of us fans could see was wrong from the start. And sure, he'd fix it during the game with subs, but why even put himself in the position of having to fix it? It was so obvious what needed to be done beforehand. Then there's the whole Crescencio Somerville situation. Why he didn't start him more often, I'll never understand. The lad looks lively and dangerous every time he gets on the pitch, yet Lopetegui would leave him on the bench. I saw a tweet earlier that really hit the nail on the head. West Ham should have sacked Lopetegui back in October. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. That Tottenham loss in October, that should have been the moment the board pulled the plug. Instead, we've been stuck in this limbo, enduring heavy defeats, 5-0 to Liverpool, 4-1 to City. And it's gotten to the point where those results don't even bother me anymore. That's how low the bar had sunk under Lopetegui. And now we're hearing that Graham Potter is in talks to take over. There's even that photo floating around of him with Tim Steighton, although I can't confirm if it's legit. Potter is a name that sparks mixed reactions among fans. One tweet I came across said, "I'm not massively inspired by Graham Potter, but I'd feel more comfortable under his management than I did with Lopetegui." And honestly, that's a fair take. At least with Potter, you know there's a plan, a philosophy, and a track record of improving teams like he did with Brighton. Of course, there's a lot of work to be done if Potter takes the reins. This isn't Brighton, and this squad isn't set up for the kind of possession-based, fluid football he likes to play. We've literally seen Lopetegui attempt to do that, and well, yeah, we all know how that turned out. But as for Potter, he's adaptable, and if anyone can instill a long-term vision here, I am optimistic that it can be him. The big question is whether the board will back him, or if this is just another short-term patch job. I've actually made a video where I break down all the managers linked to this job, including Graham Potter. If you're curious about the other names being considered, definitely check that out after this one. But there's one name I've seen mentioned to the job which I never spoke about in that video: Steve Cooper. Seriously? Let me just say this. If we end up with him, I'll lose what little faith I have left in this board. We need someone progressive and forward-thinking, not someone who's going to drag us backward. Potter feels like the right call, but this is West Ham, so who knows what will happen. I just feel like we need a manager we can connect to as fans. I never really warmed to Lopetegui on a personal level, and I don't think a lot of us fans did. That said, I do feel for him on a human level, especially considering the difficult situation with his father passing away. It's a tough thing to go through, and no one can fault him for that. But there are some fans who still feel bad for him, as for the sacking too, like George for example. George tweeted, "I genuinely feel for Lopetegui. I liked him and still do like him a lot. I think he has brought in a slower kind of continental midfield player. The style is trying to be possession-based and it just hasn't worked. I also think the Prem has changed to more direct football." It's an interesting take, and while I can understand that perspective, for me, the results and performances have been so poor that it's hard to feel too sympathetic when it comes to his role as manager. Before I wrap up, I'll leave you with this. Was sacking Lopetegui the right call? Do you think Graham Potter is the man to take us forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, if you want the full breakdown of all the managers linked to the job, go watch my other video where I cover it all in detail. Anyways, if you're enjoying this content and want to help the channel grow, please hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and your support would mean the world to me. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.